the one who'd had the nosebleed just before the breakdown, was sitting on the ground with her back propped against her pack. She was so pale that her skin looked almost transparent, and she was shivering all over. Storms affected some people like that. Some animals too. It was something to do with air pressure. Or maybe it was the electricity in the air. Anyway, Colin sincerely hoped that the poor girl's nose wasn't going to start bleeding again. Her embarrassment the first time had been pitiful, and Grace Leslie's little screams of disgust hadn't helped. He glanced at Grace, who'd turned her back on everyone and was using the tip of one of her crutches to swat at the ivy-choked fence that straggled along the roadside. He could almost read her mind as torn ivy leaves flew and scattered. Broken foot, whack. Friends all in Gralston with Mr. Simon, whack. Stuck here with Fiore and a bunch of losers, whack. In the middle of nowhere, whack. Out of contact, whack, whack, whack. Grace suddenly looked over her shoulder and saw Colin watching her. Just for a second she looked embarrassed. Then she shrugged, laughed, and limped away from the fence, leaving the evidence of her temper scattered on the grass behind her. "You and the kids better wait up there, love," the tow truck driver said to Mrs. Fiore, jerking his head at a big old 2-story house perched at the top of the little hill that rose beside the road. "Your mate in Gralston hadn't had any luck with taxis when I spoke to him. They don't like coming way out here this time of the day. Too much doing in town. I'll let him know where you are. The place is empty, but you'll get in all right. Back door's not locked." His wiry little helper, who'd been checking the chains that held the minibus in place, glanced quickly at him, then at the 5 people stranded on the roadside, but didn't say anything. Mrs. Fiore looked flustered. "Oh, but we can't just—" "It's okay. It's my dad's place," said the driver, lifting his chin and raising his voice slightly, as if he were throwing out some sort of challenge. "Well, Dad owns it anyhow. The idea is to make a guest house out of it, but no one's living in it yet." The wiry man made a small snorting sound. He might have been just clearing his throat, but Colin didn't think so. The Chinese-looking kid Mrs. Fiore had ordered to stay behind, and whose name Colin couldn't remember, obviously didn't think so either. He was staring at the driver's mate curiously. It was the first time Colin had seen him looking anything but bored when his eyes weren't glued to a screen. Lucas! That was the guy's name. Lucas Chia. Not that it really mattered. Colin had only been at this school for 2 weeks, but it had taken him less than 2 minutes to decide that he and a chilly computer genius like Lucas had nothing in common and were never likely to be friends. Mrs. Fiore hadn't noticed the wiry man's snort or Lucas Chia's interest. She'd brightened like someone who'd been drowning and had just been thrown a lifeline. "Oh, thank you. That would be marvellous," she said. "And maybe I can get a phone signal from there too. My colleague did try from the top of the hill when we first broke down. He had no luck, but maybe if I try different places in the house." "Nah," drawled the wiry man. "No reception round here. They reckoned the new tower would help, but it hasn't. Cars conk out here too, right here. Always on this side of the bridge. All the time. Can't tell you how many cars we've towed." "Yeah, well, you'd better get going if you're going, love," the driver cut in, shooting his mate a dirty look. "She'll be coming down hard pretty soon. Don't expect much up there. The electricity's on, and the toilet works and all that, but it's a bit rough. We're trying to do the place up, but it's hard to keep the tradies at it. They can pick and choose out here." Distant lightning flashed. Thunder rumbled, sounding closer. Grace Leslie yelped, then laughed at herself, rocking back on her crutches, the bulbous plastic boot that encased her broken foot.